Memory. Cool. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Martin.
Hey.
Got here late for pre-launch check, but we're getting there.
Who's this?
Gotta,
Dix.
gotta teach Cam how to run these.
Yeah, true.
Got a few coming in, I'll just let them in and I'll send everyone on there. There's a few more logging in, so we'll say hi to them in a moment. Hello, everyone. Just waiting for a few to log in and sending out a couple of little messages. Oh, Patrick, awesome.
Hey.
Christine, Dex. There's just a few that have written to me on LinkedIn that are still firing up Zoom, some that are needing to reinstall Zoom. So just a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do is put a couple of little questions and a couple of links in the chat, which we'll be able to, we'll be able to go over those when we start.
Okay. That's better.
Hey, Chris. Anna Maria. Just, a couple of minutes, guys, because there's always some glitches coming into a Zoom. You can switch your videos on if you want, but put on mute, and then we'll begin once we know everyone's in here. I'll just check everyone got that in the chat. So I'll start off and do a little intro, and then we'll give everyone a chance to answer those questions. Dex, Anna Marie, Crispin, you guys, oh, you're already there, Crispin, awesome. Christine, you can put your videos on. Cam, you can put your video on as well, and then the others will pop in. Okay. There's always a few latecomers. And then I'll pop a couple, I'm going to put a couple of links, guys, as well in the chat, and I'll get you to open them now, because when we close the Zoom, the chat will disappear and you won't have access to them. So there's a couple of links just to be able to follow through, maintain connection with us. And ideally, you'll get to meet Cameron here, who will probably reach out to you guys as well after the fact. And so if what we're up to resonates and we feel there's shared value and alignment, then yeah, we'd love to continue that conversation. So I'll just put those in here.
Okay.
And I'll put in as well, I'll put the presentation I'm going to show you guys today into there too. So you guys will have a copy of that. Walk away. And I'm going to discuss a couple of topics. I'll put 2 pitch decks in there because there's a bit of an interest. You'll see what we're doing. We've kind of got 3 kind of things wrapped into one, which I'll go over. There's the presentation from today in regards to that. And here is the other one. You guys can share, open these up separately. Beautiful. All right, Christine and Anna Marie, if you guys want to, if you can switch on, that'd be cool. And I'll jump into the others. We'll see how they go arriving and getting in. I had a few apologies. But lovely to see you guys here, everyone that's come. So I'll kick off. Basically, I'll do a little intro. The first thing I want to say is thanks to everyone for coming along and responding to us. Today, we'll see if the others come in. We had 14 people respond for today. I had 6 apologies this morning, life and things happening. So, but Martin's my partner in this project down here, Martin Hume Cobb. And there's a couple of people on the call today that are helping with the project as well. We've been running these information sessions every 3 weeks for nearly a year and a half now. And we normally see anywhere from 10 to 15 people coming along. It's been really beautiful. So we've been growing this network and community organically, slowly, and through this method so that we get to meet people, have a conversation before we move forward into any sort of public marketing, all the rest of it. Martin and I were committed to growing a really solid foundational base of people involved and grow from there, because as you'll find out, it's very much about their values alignment. It's about making sure we're bringing people in that really connect with the mission that we're on and what we're building and want to be a part of that. And then the potential benefits, within the mentoring groups, the peer-led mentoring groups, and also what I'll unpack a little bit today, which is in and around the methodology, the kind of I don't even call it marketing, I call it connection methodology that we've used to grow it. Because for some of the people coming, they are in professional services, mentors, coaches, professional consultants. So we've kind of got a triplicate thing. We've got a network, we've got peer-led mentoring, and we've got a kind of a marketing connection system that's proven itself over time. So that's what I'll discuss today. And so really quickly, my name's Rich Latimer from Byron Bay. And essentially I've been, hey, Christine, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. I've been an entrepreneur probably since I was 15. I'm 46 now, and that's taken many forms. I've been a rock musician, toured for multiple years in that arena. Probably the most brutal and difficult industry to exercise entrepreneurialism would be the music industry. And that's at every single pillar of business you can imagine: team building, logistics, execution, marketing, sustainable development. I don't really know of any that is more difficult to create a financially abundant than the music industry. It's a tough one. So that's where I cut my teeth. And really, as you'll find out about our community and about me and Martin and the others that are involved, the potential difficulty of an entrepreneurial pursuit, or the potential profitability, yes or no, all the rest of it, that all is secondary. So my entire entrepreneurial life, and in fact my life, I've never done anything, I've never traded any of my time for money, ever. So I've lived a life completely where I've only ever done things that I wanted to really do because I truly believed in them and truly wanted to do them. And that's been at times an incredibly challenging entrepreneurial journey, but ultimately incredibly rewarding. So there's a few things. I've got a digital marketing agency that's been running for 10 years, I'm fully succession out of that, a team that runs it, all based on the values that you'll hear about today. The band went on for years. We then migrated from commercial rock into doing youth suicide prevention and social and emotional intervention in high schools around the world for several years. I've got a virtual solar company in America and a whole range of different things, but really the underlying premise, and really it's the underlying premise of this project, which is the new one, is really to connect and to do things that you believe in and that you really want to do, and find other people to support that, to support that direction and that growth. So this project, the Awaretrepreneur Tribe, comes out of all of that collective experience. I have always had mentorship. I was raised in a very, very alternate way, in almost what you might describe as a dropout society. So I was raised in the forest. I'm only 46, but I experienced things such as no electricity in my childhood, no running water, living in the bush, deep in community, and with a profound amount of connection to Aboriginal Indigenous people who were also in that particular area. And so as a child, I grew up kind of realizing that the fundamentals of life are deep connection with humans and each other, deep support, and connection with, nature and really essentially, your own essence. So when I got ejected out of that and it was time to hit the real world, and I saw things like universities and salaries and jobs and businesses and systems, I was pretty confronted. I started sort of identifying some systematic flaws in some of these things. But instead of rejecting them and instead of judging them, which we've got a zero judgment, we don't have any judgment on anything in the Awaretrepreneur Tribe. What I did was I wanted to find out more. So, I had real challenges with the education system. It seemed like it was designed to slow me down, get as much money out of me as possible, only allowed me to educate myself over a strategic period of time, set me up for a salary, and lock me into that. And ideally, I'd get a mortgage and a few other things like that, and I'd be a productive member of society. But I might go on to experience things like depression, anxiety, stress, and overwhelm, because essentially I'm going against my own human nature down a pathway. And so I got inside it. I became the youngest university lecturer in Queensland, 23, lecturing in senior faculty in information design and multimedia. And I got really deep inside the system to identify what was going on. So I started doing things like upgrading the units that I was teaching, because I was like, these are 4 years old. And then, I rocked some boats. I rubbed some people higher up in the wrong ways, and I got given my exit ticket. It was pretty much, look, this is how we do things. And I said, yes, but you're asking me to teach from my heart, and I'm teaching information that's 3 years old. Unbeknownst to me, they didn't want to spend the money, time, and resources to rewrite all the. So as I identified some of these things, what happened was there was a friction between my personal integrity. So I'm in there teaching something I know is old and what the system is telling me I need to do. And I've never, ever been one to deny that personal sense of purpose and integrity. So whilst I was paid $180 an hour, incredible money, I was living in Byron Bay, dream lifestyle, working 14 hours a week. I politely said, look, I can't continue this, and I need to quit. So I've done that each and every time there's been something that's been out of alignment, even with my businesses. And I think that we're reaching a time in the world where we're seeing more CEOs and C-suite people than ever exiting corporations, wanting to go out on their own, start consultancies. They call it the Great Resignation. I think people are just fed up, personally, with lack of connection, lack of integrity, a whole range of things. So what's the Awaretrepreneur tribe got to do with that story and what we're doing? Well, I basically thought, well, what happens if, I've been in BNI, I've done a few Freemasons information sessions. I've been in EO. I've checked out a few of these things, and what I was looking for was a kind of a networking business community and peer place that identified with what I was just describing. Sure, I built some nice individual relationships in some of those places. I've done the Hilton masterminds for $100,000 a year with the champagne and the top consultants. I've done all these sorts of things. But what really was lacking for me was just completely genuine, authentic, open-hearted human connection. Forget the profits, forget the accolades, forget the acronyms, forget the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 figures. Just, I wanted to connect deeply with other humans who truly had a empathetic and compassionate support for me, first as a human, secondly, then being willing to assist me with business. And I didn't find that to the extent that I would have liked. So I thought, and then I looked at some of the stats. BNI lost 30% of membership in the last 2 years. So Martin's been a friend and a mentor for a decade. And I'll let him intro very briefly in a moment. But essentially we went, okay, let's build it. So basically one of my mentors said, look, Rich, instead of complaining that you can't find this in the business networking and mentoring space, do what you've always done, create it, get on with it. So that's what we're doing. And the reason you're on this call is because simultaneously to building that, which is it's running, we've got a network, we've got a platform, we've got a humble base of people. We've got people in our peer-led mentoring groups, which we call our Mentor 7 clans. And some of this we'll discuss today. Essentially, we also developed a connection marketing method, which you've all experienced. So your attendance on today's call is the result of that system that we've worked on for 1.5 years as well. That's why you're here, which is a LinkedIn methodology that we've been using and building a team and some tools and some AI around that to help me find personality profiled individuals is what we've worked on with that. So that's what the Awaretrepreneur tribe is. So it's 3 things in a way. It's a business network. So it's a global business network. We currently meet online. Inside it, there are small group peer-led mentoring opportunities, which we call Mentor 7 clans, which is our Awarepreneurship. And then there's obviously the marketing system that we can also support people with if it's applicable to them and what they're offering in their business service. Yeah. So, and that we call the complete the connection outreach system. So that's the intro, and that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to show you, we're going to learn a little bit about our value structure and what we're up to within the network. And then ideally there'll be an opportunity to connect deeper. Cameron, who's on the call, is a part of our team. He'll probably give you guys a call, chat a bit further. And if any part of it, the networking, the mentoring, or the marketing is something that you would find value in or want to collaborate with or whatever, then you would end up coming forward and having a call with me. We've also got Patrick here, who's been sort of watching from the sidelines of what we're building and maybe assisting. So yeah, that's it. Martin, do you want to add a couple of things before I open up about the framework?
Probably not a great deal. I think you've given us the basics of what we're doing. Yeah, really, I think the main individual difference with this community that we've created is the emphasis on core values, shared core values, and commitment to those, and the commitment to personal growth and business growth in a holistic way. We very much want to affirm and support people building lives, integrated lives that have got this balanced growth going on across their personal life and whatever their enterprise or their professional life is. And really that's our vision, and that's why you're here, is we're reaching out to share this community with whoever's interested. So it's great you can come, and Rich will give you a bit more information.
Beautiful. One really important thing to realize with this, and just before I open up the presentation, is that this is probably the most important thing I could say today. This is not a business idea that we came up with, and went, oh, there's a market need. Business networking is plummeting around the world. People looking for more connection. Quick, let's come up with a model, a strategy. That is the old world. This is who I actually am. I live in community, deep community. I'm in clan circles every 2 weeks doing men's mental health work. I was raised like it. Mentorship has permeated my life. My first elder said to me, the only way to get through life is through deep connection with your elders and your mentors. Whereas our society, I go to Instagram, and apparently if I'm 21 and I can tweak AI and I can get 9 figures, I'm the hero. And I can get a Lamborghini, and I can get these, and I am something to be looked up to. But in a systemic culture built upon long-term multi-generational growth, that is seen as uninitiated, almost irreversible narcissism. So, and unfortunately, business has a lot to own up for. So I basically see business as the last frontier. That health has taken a bit of a beating since what we all don't need to talk about. There are many changes occurring at the moment, but business continues to get away with things where it says, look, I get it. You're a human. I get it that these things I'm doing are wrong, but look, technically under the auspices of business, this is completely fine. So, I can enslave hundreds of people on minimum wage while 3 or 4 guys make billions of dollars. And those guys, get celebrated. Now, Awaretrepreneurs don't believe that. They're not interested in that kind of business model structure. But the trick to that is being that in yourself. So just so you know that this is real. This is just who we actually are and what we do. So when we're meeting people that are aligned with that, and we're having these fortnightly networking meetings, it's just profound. It's just a beautiful conversations, incredible synergies, lots of cohesive support, even just from the networking. Just from the fortnightly networking meetings and in the platform. But in the deeper clan work, which we'll talk about, it's obviously really deep. We're going into personal development and business growth and executing things in those ways. So, but that's just really important for you guys to know in terms of where Martin and I are coming from with it. And I'll give you a little synopsis of it now. Yeah. So essentially, I guess that's our that's sort of what we feel, that there's a bit of a change going on. And really that the most powerful force for people to survive and thrive through challenges is through accountable relationships with supportive community. And that's really the key to what we're doing. So the Awaretrepreneur Tribe is, it's networking, mentoring. And as I said, we've got a marketing model that ties in to support people. But it's basically personal growth is the seed of business development. So we go personal growth gives life to business development. That's how we approach it. That's what we are, a community of conscious entrepreneurs, mentors and coaches. We get together, we inspire, support each other, to become more skillful, more realized in business and personal. And then ideally navigate those challenges, get opportunities, bring projects to light, support each other. Yeah. So, and that's what we've been witnessing occurring over the last couple of years as we're building this, humbly and slowly. But it's quite inspiring to see the amount of people that are interested in it. So why the Awaretrepreneur Tribe? So key number one is relationships, build real connections with peers and mentors. So I wanted a business network where I could walk in and when someone says, hey, what do you do? I could say, I don't know. I'm lost. I've currently got anxiety. I don't know where I'm going, and burst into tears. And the person goes, hey, come here. Let me help you. And then later on, they might want to sit down and talk to me about my business model and my profit model and what connections they may or may not have or whatever else. But first and foremost, I wanted relationships. So we're fostering that within here through agreements around core values. Skills, massive skills upgrade. I can't be everything. So the reason why societies that were, the Aboriginal society were broken into tribes and then clans and then nuclei was because they had skills interlocking share. Whereas now it's like, well, if I need a skill, I'll try to hire it in at the lowest fee to maximize my profit off it instead of actually looking at collaboration and collaborative support. Okay. So upgrading your own skills, but being able to build that sort of connection of support. Contribution is massive. So a huge premise of the Awaretrepreneur Tribe is I give, therefore I receive. So most marketing is like, go for the pain points. What does a person want? What are they going to get out of it? What's the value for me? Yes, there's that involved because there's an incredible amount of value involved in being a part of something like this. But we don't let anyone in the door that doesn't first and foremost want to give to the other. Because when we do that, we build a community of people ready to give in order to receive, and you create a reciprocity economy. We call it the give to receive economy. It's quite powerful. Clarity. Being able to meet every 2 weeks, whether you come into the deeper mentoring, which is profound, even just the networking where you can really open up and share clearly where you're at in the personal pillars, business pillars, gain clarity, have higher level thought in a completely non-judgmental, open, authentic environment is deeply refreshing. And some of the things you'll get back from other members on those calls and in those different experiences bring forth such incredible clarity. So the other thing is that I've been in mentoring. I've done marketing for the biggest mentors and coaches in the country. I know the business models inside out, back to front, every single one of them, from the webinar evergreens through to the multi-course, through to the Facebook groups, to the online course, the entire thing. Okay, I've run a marketing agency for 15 years and I've spoken on stage for probably 7 years. And the reality is, we wanted something to offer the marketplace where people that couldn't afford $3,000 or $4,000 a month for an individual coach who really does nothing more than lets them reflect, gives them some strategy and they walk away, had somewhere to come and get deeper support. Yeah, there is a huge amount of entrepreneurs bursting onto the scenes at the moment. 200% increase in small business registrations in Australia in the last year or so. And that's because people are saying, I want to get out and do something. I want to, so we wanted something that was affordable at that level and would give them access to these main things: relationship skills, contribution, clarity, and the productivity is being able to talk about where you're at, what you're going to do in the next 2 weeks and how you're going to execute upon that. So we build that into our networking meetings and obviously into our clan mentoring as well. So essentially, Martin put this together. We basically said that, it's a sustainable growth model. So if personal growth and the ability to support that and get that assisted is the roots, then the enterprise will grow. Yeah. So what we wanted to do was make that very practical. Have a business networking environment where you could talk about these other areas and these personal growth elements, but talk about them in relationship to how they directly affect your project in your enterprise. Okay. So if I'm struggling to get on social media and I just get a social media strategy and some high level marketing consultant for 10 grand telling me to do these posts and everything, that's one thing. But did anyone ever ask me about that time when I was 8 and I was crushed by my teacher and my nervous system was shut down? I have deep trauma around speaking in front of people. Where's my safe place to discuss these things in order to find the breakthroughs to then push them through the enterprise? Now, we're not there to be, the counselors and all the rest of it, but there needs to be enough openness in that space to find those linkages. Now, I might need to go away and do far more deeper individual, personal growth, healing, counseling, whatever else. But if I've got an environment where my community, particularly in the mentoring, are helping me identify these specific blockages in mind, emotion, and all the rest of it that are impacting my business, I can go away and execute upon those. Now, the great thing about tribes is I might need to go nowhere. It'll be right there in front of me. There'll be someone there that says, and we see it every time, hey, I'd like to help you with that. Here's my link. I'll speak to you next week. That's the kind of community that we're building with this. Yeah. So it's a supportive community, mentors and peers, integrating lessons, moving through those challenges and committed to supporting each other through personal and business growth. This is a little vibe, I guess, she expresses around what it feels like in one of those.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say to all of you, how grateful I am that you're all in this group and that we get to do this every fortnight. And I can really see who's having challenges and who's, and the types of challenges you're having. And I just try. It's really, I think it's important just to remember that, I see myself in all of you as well, and we all think that we're the only one that's having that shitty challenge or having that struggle, but it really should be comforting to realize that we're not alone. We're all humans at the end of the day, and we're all struggling with our crap all the time. And so this is a beautiful moment of awareness once a fortnight where you're checking with other people who are just being real and don't have their egos on and walking around having some false sense of self. We're all here just being really real. So I think
Yes.
I'm very grateful in this crazy world that we live in that I've got this moment of real with all of you. So thanks all for being here and for listening as well. So
I totally feel the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's a bit of a, she sums it up quite well. And that's what I couldn't find. I couldn't find that when I was walking to some of these other environments, and I've engaged amazing consultants and been helped by individual things as well, but I just couldn't get that collaboration that I required to really see the growth, particularly the accountability aspects of that. But that's a bit of a sense of what we're up to within here.
Yeah, amazing. And
move to the next one. So this is what we're based on, guys. We're based on what we call an 8 pillars model. It relates to our logo. So our logo is an 8-pointed star because it represents these 8 pillars intersecting with each other. So we believe, these are large groupings, but we work with inside them. The 4 personal pillars: health and self, relationship and family, money and prosperity, and community and creativity. And then, which is the triangular axis. And the business pillars: purpose and profitability. We don't separate purpose and profitability as Awaretrepreneurs. So when we do our profitability forecasting, we're looking at metrics beyond numbers. Okay. So we're looking at other metrics such as long-term impact on community, systemic impact on staff, teams, and others involved. We've got a much wider spreadsheet that we're looking at than purely, can I get more money in than what I put out? And I don't care about anything else. As Awaretrepreneurs, we're much more 360 in our work. Sales and marketing, obviously, team and delivery and systems, and innovation and legacy. So we work amongst these pillars. So you can speak to any one of them when you're coming to those meetings or the mentoring. We're looking at the crossovers and finding support, finding clarity, and then accountability for people to move forward. The star also represents and really this underpins everything. This is the crux of the entire thing. Okay, so if you decide to join the Awaretrepreneur tribe, whether you come in just as a network member and come to the fortnightly meetings, whether you come in deeper and come into the clan mentoring work, this is the core of it. So these are agreements that we make around a culture that we're building. So we have the 4 actions and the 4 attitudes by which we take those actions. So we have loving, learning, serving, and uplifting, and the attitudes of humility, integrity, generosity, and trust. Now, I'll be super clear right here, there's no perfection here, okay? None of us, we're all flawed and failed. There's many aspects of my business that I still feel are out of integrity and alignment, and I'm battling against systems and processes as everyone is. But we do have a community that are collectively aspiring to change the culture of business, and collectively supporting each other to grow and change to do that. And that's quite exciting. And I think it's quite relevant for this time. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having people joining so rapidly and coming along and being so interested. So that's really the values, guys, that underpin. So it's really now coming back to you guys, do those values align? Do the elements of what we're doing? And then is there value, really for you guys as individuals in having a network that are focused around that, growing globally? So you'd be coming in on ground floor. Yeah, this is early days. We're open for collaboration. Many of the members now are doing many things without Martin and I asking them to. It's incredible. They're off championing this all around the place. It's really quite beautiful what's happening. And then is there value potentially in getting deeper support, coming in, getting really deep mentoring and support? That's the next question. And then what have you got to give as well within the community? So to kick that off, there's just a few simple questions that I put in the chat that I'll get you guys to answer, to get a feel, of you guys. And then we can talk about it. And then I'll wrap up a little bit very briefly around how we got you here, the system that we built to find you. Because make no mistake, it's not by accident that you're here. Neither technologically or potentially existentially. So we can talk about that. And as I said, then we go forward from there. Cameron, who's on the call, will most likely call you, tune in a bit deeper and see what's possible. And you might end up finding yourself in a deeper conversation with myself, maybe Patrick, maybe Martin. Okay. So back to you guys, and I'll kick off with you, Dex. I'll just refresh you.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good. Just refresh on the question. So, and this is just in brief. I might even I tend to put a little bit of time up, and what that means is there'll be a small clock. It'll appear on my window, and that'll sort of help you keep it in the zone. We'll have about 4 minutes each to go through, a couple of minutes on each one. So basically, the first question is, why? I put why. What motivated you to come today? You'll answer that. Then just in brief, who you are and who you serve, or you're intending or wanting to serve. And then what are you most needing right now? In terms of personal or business support, so that we can identify whether what we've got to offer can be supportive for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so take it away and I'll put the time up.
Okay, sweet. So why am I motivated? Well, because I feel like I was left out, because obviously I'm a self-taught programmer. I've just dropped out of school. I got a lot of hate because of it. They said, you're a dropout, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to make millions of dollars one day. I come from a very humble background because I was growing up in South Africa. So we came into New Zealand with basically nothing. And I'm trying to build that from the ground up. And I'm trying to change the New Zealand's education system because it's really shit. Sorry for swearing, but it is. I would just like to be around, very inspiring other entrepreneurs, regardless of your age. It doesn't matter. So my name's Declan Middleton. So I was going to change my last name to Engelbrack, but I'll change that later. Sorry, what was the third question?
That's good on your motivation for being here. Now, just sort of, I guess who do you, a little bit. I mean, you've given the who are you a little bit there. So who do you serve? What do you want to do with your project? Who are you looking to serve?
That is a very good question. Well,
You don't need to have the answer, guys, to any of these right now. It's just an open sharing, but you share whatever comes to you.
could you like elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by
So basically,
who do you serve?
okay, so for example, if you said, Rich, who are you and who do you serve? I'm like, I'm a human doing my best to grow in this world, and who I serve is my fellow brothers and sisters through bringing them together in deep connection, support, and growth, and then all the rest of its story, you know, all my skills and all the rest of it. So I guess, you know, who do you want to service with the work you do? Where do you see yourself going with it? Who's benefiting from what you program? What do you want to do?
Well, it's kind of similar to what you guys are doing, but that's what I kind of want to offer to the school communities. Mainly people who have dropped out of school and they don't know where they're going, or people who go to university and they lost and they still lost again and again and again. I want to kind of bring them in and, you know, help them out. Something like this would definitely help them out. And well, currently what I'm doing is I'm trying to seek investment because I'm currently building an education platform in my country, and I'm going to go around schools and basically talk about what you guys are talking about on stages and stuff like that. So,
Beautiful.
yeah.
You nailed it. You nailed it. And I just wouldn't call them dropouts. I'd call them
early school leavers.
Yeah, exiters. Yeah.
You
know, because it's a tricky one. I realized by year 7 or 8, you know, that I got it pretty quick. I was like, okay, this is kind of a detention center of sorts. There's some good stuff here, but my mentor said to me, Rich, it doesn't matter what experience you put in life, extract the gold. Extract the absolute gold. So you've done that. You've gotten some things out of it, and you want to get on with these skills, and you want to have an impact. So that's beautiful, Declan. So that's cool. And I guess you've kind of already answered, you know, what you might want by coming in, having support. You want support. You want collaboration. You want to be able to have open conversations like what you're doing now. You probably enjoy getting feedback. You would enjoy getting inspiration and support and strategy. Around how to do things.
I would just like to know how you guys found me, because, you know, you hooked me up on LinkedIn. I was like, well, what's going on here? You know,
I'll talk. Yeah, I will. I'll wrap with that.
Great. Yeah, Rich will talk about how the system for doing that at the end.
Yeah,
that's great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks for that, Declan.
Yeah, thank you. And if you did come in and you were coming to the fortnightly networking, you get a chance to do this, right, regularly with other amazing people and explore those ideas more, speak more about what you feel and what you're going through and what you want to do. And then obviously within the smaller peer mentoring, that's done at a profoundly deep level. Anna Marie, you're up. Who are you? What was the motivation for coming along? Who do you serve? Who are you and who do you serve?
Sure. Thank you for having me. And I was truly impressed by Dex's mission and everything he said and you guys added. So well done. I have 2 teenage daughters, year 8 and year 11. So I'm very familiar with the downsides of the education system. Which if I had known at the beginning, I most likely would have gone for homeschooling or Kim Constable I follow. She's in Ireland. She's calling it unschooling on purpose.
Yeah.
Just quickly wanted to add that her philosophy with that one is that she strongly disagrees with the principles of schooling, giving them the feedback, failing them if they don't succeed. So her philosophy is you have to fail to get better. So I just wanted to add that, and just kudos to Dex. Thank you. So what motivated me to come today? It's hard to say. It was a personal reach out on LinkedIn, just like for Dex. And I'm sensing from Martin's comment that there is a strategy behind that, which is awesome.
Yeah. Hang on, let me clarify that one. So yes, that's how I got you, but you made the choice. You made the choice to respond. Then you made the choice to click on the calendar link and book in and attend. So there's something inside you drove that.
Yes, I guess I can't pinpoint it, but I picked up on the vibes, that it was something that I needed, everything that you explained in your presentation. And finally, something in my human time zone, not 2 a.m. in the morning, that I can attend. So, yeah.
Beautiful. And where are
So
you sitting right now? Sorry, Martin.
New Zealand, yeah.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
I have many friends in Australia, by the way.
So who do you serve? What do you want to bring to life?
Okay, so originally I'm from Europe. I just wanted to add, been living in New Zealand for 20 years, and I'm running 2 businesses. My educational background is in finance, so I have a bookkeeping, accounting, financial advisory business that now I'm part of. So it started as work. I got offered part of the company. But why I'm here is with Anna Maria, and my mission is to serve women and change makers to get rid of all the taboos and rebel against social, cultural, and gender and family limitations. So get rid of all the taboos and work through all the emotions, because when we are running our businesses and we want to achieve emotional freedom, all these things bubble up even stronger. Because it's not for the faint-hearted to run a business, especially at the beginning or by ourselves from home, and all the challenges we face, as you really well articulated in the presentation.
Yes.
So I approach everyone from the human aspect, and the mindset is really, really big. I went through a very long personal development journey from insecure and no self-worth, no self-belief, to knowing my worth and values and have a purpose and mission in life. And I'm really passionate passing it on to others. I don't want them to take 2 decades with it like I went through. So that's a shortcut.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And at the moment, I'm coaching someone who I took on as a life coaching client, but it turned into business because she really cares about the environment and all beautiful things, and everything just interconnects in life and business. So that, I hope it answers the question clearly.
That was beautiful, really. And just whereabouts in Europe?
Hungary.
Oh, lovely.
I was at my two of my best friends they're from Hungary at dinner last night. It's an interesting culture. I've got to get over there. It sounds incredibly unique.
Yes.
so much
You should. Yeah. I'm pleased with that.
Beautiful, yes. Anna Maria. Thank you very, very much. And I guess one of the missions that Martin and I had for the Awaretrepreneur tribe was that logo that you see, the stamp, the emblem, the 8-pointed star with the arrow, which is the AT, obviously. We got a long journey ahead. We're year 2 of a 10-year plan. But that will become a brand. That'll become a stamp that people will recognize in the marketplace. So it'll be on your website, and people go, Anna Marie's an Awaretrepreneur. Okay, now I kind of get an idea of what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah.
So we wanted to be the meeting place. Yeah. See, because there's so many people, you're going to build a community of amazing, empowered women. We've got other people in there that are building education revolution communities. See, old world business, would say, you're building something like that. I'm doing the same thing. So how about you go away and stay over there and do that, and I go away and stay over and do that, and we remain separate and don't help each other. See, the Awaretrepreneurs believe that competition is irrelevant because so competition is great because you can use it to scaffold, but collaboration is better because you can use it to expand laterally at a far, far more profound rate. So what I do is anytime a competitor comes at me and looks like they want to be competitive and, which could look like attack a section of the marketplace, whatever else, I flip it around and go, well, hang on a minute, break down your entire model, break down mine, and let's look for the gaps because together we can grow. So you would find many women in the Awaretrepreneur tribe interested in joining what you do. And we want to be a meeting place for people like you. So that's really exciting.
And I think that's the part of the third question, that what am I needing in business right now? First of all, human connections, like genuine connections, because that's the beginning of everything. We can't push just sales, we need to trust each other before we can take it to the next level, and making sure that we are the right fit for each other.
Yeah.
So just that support, networking, collaboration, and exposure, and just being part of a community where we understand each other. We can talk about our challenges, overwhelm and procrastination and imposter syndrome and all these things that we go through, because it's normal. It shouldn't be stigmatized. And the other thing is that I really strongly against this promising that everything is so easy when you are running your business. And it's the opposite. Yes, it will get easier and we get to that level, but then we want to evolve from there again, scale up. So that's going to be hard again. So I don't like those promises that make it make you feel like that you are doing something wrong, because it's not easy. It doesn't feel easy at all, right?
That's right. But that's a very strategic tactic, because it attacks your primal brain and makes you feel in a sense of lack and fear, and you're less than. This other person is higher than you. They're more successful. So if I give them money, they might turn me into the same thing. But that's crumbling at the moment, because the human awareness is growing and it's evolving further and further out of simply the primal reactions and the almost, it'll always be there, but there's an evolution that's occurring. And we're seeing it with your children, because they're going, hang on a minute, some of this is not adding up and I'm not into it. So my children go to a community school, a Steiner related school. We run our own school in our home for 7 or 8 children, and there's lots of new models. But look, bottom line, lovely to meet you. There feels like a lot of alignment and potentiality. And if the conversation goes forward with Cameron and then you end up in a chat with me and Martin, that would be beautiful. Christine, we'd love to hear just, briefly from you.
Good evening. My name is Christine. I'm currently in Côte d'Ivoire. My family is back here. So a huge time difference of 9 hours. So my for being here today was to be in a space to identify and collaborate with people who are seeking to provide impact, and a safe space to be able to define success in my own terms, not necessarily in terms of economic bottom line, but to do entrepreneurship in a way that has impact and provide solution to the problems in society. So for me, that's what I'm looking at today. That's what motivated me to come here and support in terms of even achieving clarity. Because many times when you want to grow your organization according to your values, your authentic self, it becomes quite difficult even to get partners and people to collaborate with to achieve that. So I'm the co-founder of Metro Analytics, which I started last year, but I haven't been able to scale it up to where it should have been. And I believe I'm taking time because I want it to be different. I don't want it to be like the other organizations that already exists. I want to provide a psychologically safe environment for people to work, while at the same time solving problems in the community. So that's what motivates me to be here.
That's beautiful. And so just talk briefly about the meta analytics, what just exactly what you're kind of doing within that. Meta
analytics. To start with, I am a project manager. So project management, and I have over almost 20 years experience in business analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mostly I do IT infrastructure.
Yep.
And lately I've taken an interest in data analytics,
Mm-hmm.
machine learning, artificial intelligence in different industries, including healthcare.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So it's a high-level consultancy firm that is looking at potentially analytical data. You can provide structural and data analysis type consultancy to organization in and around their business structure and even their data analysis, and then what they do with that data. And you're potentially moving into the health industry with that. Is that in a nutshell?
Yes, somehow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's and you're obviously wanting to do that from a place of your own value aligned integrity and how you want to operate within that. So that's excellent. The world is an incredible place with unlimited opportunity, and absolutely my personal experience has been anything I truly believe in my heart and know that is worth doing happens. I love what you said, that you wanted to go beyond the bottom line. One of my mentors, when I told him about this project, he said to me, "Are you okay, Rich, if this project doesn't get even 20% to where you want it to be before you die? Are you happy to devote your entire efforts over the next?" He said, "Make sure you are. Make sure that you're willing to do at 100% with full faith, without it being specific on a result that you will personally benefit from." And that's what my Aboriginal elders taught me. They said there's things we're doing now that are for our kids, because that's how they would operate. Yeah. Whereas I might, in traditional business world, think purely about my 40 years and maybe my kids, see if I can rack up as much wealth as I can, investment properties, pretty much to the expense of whatever I needed to do, destruction of environment, suppression of people, because of my short-term immediate gain and my little tiny circle, not systemic. But the problem is that my kids are affected by the children of people who have nothing in terms of crime, violence, societal issues. And what we're seeing at the moment is that we're needing to return to a far more collaborative approach, because we need that for systemic change. So exciting what you're all doing. Really exciting, particularly you, Dex. Dex, I've placed a link in there for you of an educational project that I ran around the world for 5 years, where I was on stage presenting to thousands and thousands and thousands of students. And I think you'll find it quite interesting and inspiring. All of you, basically amazing that you've come here. What I would like to do now is just kind of wrap up a little bit, because it's pretty obvious there's alignment, there's potential support and collaboration. So I'll just give you the nutshell of, what you could experience or benefit from with what we're doing. And then Cameron will probably call you guys to have a bit more of a chat. And he'll then he can help you come in and join our network. If that's the area, he could help you come in and have a deeper conversation about the Mentor 7 clans and what we call our Awaretrepreneur. So we're designing something we're designing something like an MBA. Yeah. But it's an Awaretrepreneur. So Martin and I are on a path to rewrite business education based in these fundamental values and human level in all areas. So whether everything from how you're managing teams and staff, how you're doing sales, with values and integrity within that process, a range of things that we believe are needed at this point in time. But the Awaretrepreneur takes a few forms. The initial stage is a 9-month Awaretrepreneur, where you are supported in a small group with 5 other amazing like-minded entrepreneurs and a great clan leader, not a guru, not someone that's sitting there making you feel they're more successful than you, and also not someone sitting there promising you 6 figures in 6 days, or chucking you in a Facebook group and leaving you or forcing you to watch 50 hours of videos, but real, live, 2 hours on Zoom every 2 weeks where you go as deep as you possibly can and want to, with profound levels of support, reflection, guidance, feedback, but most importantly, accountability, where you are held very accountable to taking the actions that you need to take, where the entire group holds you accountable, where you buddy up with someone in between those calls purely to talk about accountability. And all of your accountability is registered on a board for everyone to see. So we can say, Anna Marie, last week when we met, you said that you're going to work on these elements within that personal pillar challenge. What have you done? And if nothing, why? What do you need now to move forward? So that approach. Now, that's how tribal cultures worked. They worked in collaborative, small, around the fire, around the tribal fire, to workshop solutions, reach agreement, raise awareness through collective intelligence, collective collaboration, and then sign off with agreements and actions to make changes, right? So we've taken, basically, I've taken what I learned from my elders around tribal circle work, and we've plugged it into business mentoring, personal growth and business mentoring, okay? So that's the Mentor 7 Clans. The network is a beautiful network. We've got an amazing app you come into. It's very low cost. It's $99 a month. Even the mentoring's low cost. It's under $1,000 a month. Because again, the business coaches and consultants out there are charging $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month for a meeting every couple of weeks. And it's just not affordable and sustainable for 95% of the struggling entrepreneurial population. So Martin and I said, look, everyone's going after the top 1%, but everyone's leaving behind all these people that need this support. Because why? Because they don't think there's as much money there. Martin and I have worked diligently, and we've built a sustainable model, and we've built something that's got long-term growth in it to support people. So
Rich, what currency are you charging in?
That's in Australian dollars.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, so $99 a month, or if you sign up for a year, and I'll put the link in. I mean, Cameron will actually have a direct conversation with each of you to then see where you fit, whether you're just coming in the network or you want to book in with, as I said, either myself or Patrick or Martin around the mentoring. We'd love to see you there. We run every second Monday at 7 p.m. Is our, what we call our All Tribe meeting, and we're opening up a second one earlier in the morning, which looks like it'll be on the same day, because now we've got a growing community in Canada and USA and other parts of the world. But for anyone in New Zealand, you'll be able to make it to the 7 p.m. one. Oh, I've typed in something wrong. Thank you. Anna Marie, you're very quick. Good on you. Check that one. Make sure that works. Essentially, when entering our community, you can enter as a business owner, which is our general membership, or you can enter as a mentor or coach. And the reason there's a slightly different fees because there's a range of different benefits. One of those benefits is that you go on a roster to present what we call our wisdom classes. So on a rotational basis, one of our mentors and coaches member will present live on Zoom an incredible wisdom class to the entire community. Those are also recorded, and they're deposited in our wisdom bank. So your monthly fee is giving you access not only to a community, live networking, all the rest of it, but also acute high-level teaching live, and a growing database, if you like, or an online course. But the reason we call them wisdom banks is because we don't allow anyone to teach anything that they haven't done themselves. We don't allow someone who's got 3 degrees in marketing and has spent 40 years as an academic talk about marketing, unless they themselves personally have executed incredibly, radically successful marketing campaigns globally, and they have the statistical data and proof to back it up. So we're not interested in concepts, philosophies, ideas. We're interested in real world, real results. Yeah. So that's and that's part of the reason kids struggle at school. Okay. So at school, young teachers who are not necessarily capable of imparting and certainly not living the things that they're teaching are trying to teach, and the kids are too smart. They're aware of it. So in Aboriginal culture, if I need to learn to throw a spear, they bring me the top spear thrower from that community. And everything about that person is spear throwing. They've been throwing spears since they were 3. They live and sleep with their spear. They can handcraft them. They understand everything and they embody the spear. Whereas we're in a society where it's like, look, I don't even like spears, but I'm getting 50 grand a year. I'll pretend I do, and I'll pretend to teach you. And the child will go, this is out of alignment. Okay. And that's the challenge that we face. Yeah. So that's where that's at in terms of the networking and the mentoring. And I really hope I get to meet you guys or you book in for a chat once Cameron calls you. And now the marketing, which Cameron will also discuss, and we can, is, Anne-Marie, I'll answer your question. We've worked on an artificial intelligence that we use to help us target specific types of people on LinkedIn. Then we've got a small boutique team of highly trained individuals that manually run everything because LinkedIn has shut down all forms of automation. And then we use acute, repetitive, iterative messaging with AI to work out the ultimate target people for the ultimate messages to bring them forth onto information sessions like this. So for example, Dex might want to get in front of a small group of venture capitalists that are passionate about educational change, passionate about technology, and we could deploy this connection outreach system to target those people on LinkedIn, message them, attract them, and bring them onto a Zoom call for him every 3 weeks. Yeah, but it's a test and measure iterative model where we tweak and refine. So we could bring you women that are looking for that kind of support, Anna-Marie. Yeah, Christine, we could bring you organizations within the medical industry, but we can go pretty deep, such as target them based upon certain personality leanings, not just that they own a medical firm or but it takes time to build it. So that's how you guys got here, is that's getting stronger and stronger. But you're a little bit different because we'd never targeted outside Australia, except for 1 month ago we started. Okay, so we built the community primarily in Australia. Now we're hitting New Zealand, Toronto, Texas, Sao Paulo, Brazil. We're growing globally now. So this is a global project. Okay, and there's more you'll hear about it from Cameron. There's live retreats we're going to do. There will be in-person meetups and things as things grow. But that's really in a nutshell. And you could fire a couple of questions now, or if you're all willing, Cameron, do you want to just briefly introduce yourself and how you got here, just so they know for when you call?
Hi guys, nice to meet you all. Very interesting hearing about what you have to say and what you're doing with your businesses and what you hope to do in the future. So yeah, I'll be giving you a call on the upcoming days just to discuss a bit further, see how aligned you are with the kind of projects we're running here. So obviously we've got the few different things to offer you, so we can just discuss that in further detail. Rich also found me through LinkedIn using the connection outreach system. So it's tried and tested. They've been running it for a couple of years and just exponentially gets better and better. So yeah, it's constantly finding people through that, and yeah, we just hope to welcome you to our community and get you forward.
And Cameron, why did you decide to join? Why did you decide to go even further and join our team?
So previously I was working for a company where I felt there wasn't much alignment. I didn't have much integrity there in what I was doing, and felt that's something I was really looking for, not just becoming more developed in my business aspect, but personal growth. It's something I'm really passionate about. Self-improvement, just becoming a better person. I really think one really adds to the other. You can't have one without the other, especially being part of a community, having accountability, just surrounding yourself with people, like-minded people in a similar space, just really to help you grow and meet people and just expand your knowledge.
Beautiful. That's it. And it's a pleasure to have you on here. So yeah, Cam will give you a call, would see if there's extra alignment. And as I said, even just coming in for the networking, maybe the mentoring, and then for those of you that have capacity and the business model for it, potentially the marketing system. But yeah, thank you, each of you, so much for coming. And then yeah, I hope we see you in the community. I hope you guys join. We see you on the fortnightly calls, and I hope to meet you if that conversation goes well. Any final questions before we wrap for today? Anne-Marie?
I just wanted to ask, I'm really curious, and only if it's not top secret information for now, but the AI system you are using, is it your own development or it's Zopto or something similar?
Yeah, no, we've slowly worked on an engine built out of the ChatGPT code base, but with a few other tools plugged in, and slowly trained that over time for this work. But it requires retraining. We have to deploy one for each person that we run the marketing system for, so that we slowly grow. It learns the target market, that when we get positive responses, and the types of people and the types of messaging, but it's built on what we've known's worked for over 2.5 years. So it just gets better and better and better and better as we go along. But also the team that we use are incredibly diligent. There's a group of ladies that have spent nearly a decade working within LinkedIn direct messaging at some of the highest levels. So they bring their expertise and their intelligence, which I believe human intelligence is far superior to artificial intelligence. In fact, without human intelligence, there is no artificial intelligence. So they combine those years of experience with the technology, and then it's just hard work. It's just literally hard manual labor, getting in, sending messages,
I'm still in a meeting.
responding to people.
Yeah. Look, I'm really intrigued because I'm moving in the developer, software developer circles as well through my clients from the other business, and have really good friends now. Who are also, doing some input with my businesses and things like that. So I'm really fascinated by all this technology, and I'm getting a geek.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome. Thank you.
No, for sure. Yeah, obviously one of the businesses I own is a marketing agency. So you can imagine it's incredible what I'm doing as an Awaretrepreneur is I'm looking at where I would like to execute artificial intelligence consciously and up against my own set of values, as opposed to simply how I can mass execute it for highest profit. So for example, I could probably fire maybe 3 of my team and replace them at this point in time. But instead, what we'll do is we'll collaboratively strategize where they become even higher level scalability, and we'll simply use the tools to support them. So Awaretrepreneurs think about that before they think about simply slaves and as resources that should be just cut off if they're no longer profitable, because it doesn't align with the Awaretrepreneur philosophy. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. So love to meet all of you. Cameron will call you. He'll try to organize that quickly. There's a booking link as well for me. But for those of you that are inspired, you can join now. It's pretty simple to join. You click on that link and you can come in, and as soon as you come into our app, there's an amazing kind of like mini online course that you go through a checklist. It's got incredible things. You get to meet a lot of the community through that process, read all their answers, get a feel for who's in there, write to people. And then come along to our networking meetings. But Cameron will call you to discuss the mentoring and the marketing, okay? Awesome, guys. Christine, so final words. Dex, anything just to wrap up? And
no, I think this was really very important to cover. I think, I don't know. I just feel like, especially on my journey, you guys might feel it as well, is that you might think that you're alone, but there's about roughly 7 or 8 billion people on this planet. I can assure you that you're not alone. There's millions of people out there doing similar things. The scariest thing is that we have to take it into consideration that we're also human beings, and we have to rest, recover, and then also connect with other human beings, because we are, by definition, we are connected with nature. And if we do not respect our energy and our time by ourselves, there is no venture, there is no journey, right? It's either you go all in, or you deprive yourself and you actually die. So make sure that, respect everyone around you, regardless, and love one another. Yeah, I guess that's the message I would leave behind today. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, you've done my job.
Thanks, Dex. Love
Dex
it.
just nailed it.
Love it.
There you go. Dex has described the essence of what we're trying to build.
Absolutely.
Pretty much respect your own self and connect. That's the point. And then Dex, with us, what's happening now, we're growing, but people are getting together in person. So obviously there's incredible connection happening in the mentoring on the Zoom calls and things, but we're going to have live retreats. But what's happening is so the app has a geolocational feature, right? So you can go into the app and click on near me, and it will show you any other Awaretrepreneurs. People are hooking up with each other, going for lunches, cross collaborating. It's slow. It's very slow. It's early days. We're only a very small, but it's getting there. So any final word? Thank you, brother. Any final words from you, Anna Marie?
Yeah, I just loved all of it, because like that highlighted, and you guys, that we have to consider ourselves as wholesome human being, and therefore I implement all the mind, body, and emotional intelligence. And the relationship aspect is the most important, what we build with ourselves, because we can't have a good relationship with anything or anybody if we don't have peace and strength and beauty inside of us.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And for you, Christine, any final sort of remarks before we go, and then hopefully we will see you another time.
First, to thank you so much for your time and for creating such a forum. It is really helpful, because I know you can't be everything. You can't do everything by yourself. So collaboration is really imperative to succeed in life, in all aspects of life, actually. Yeah. So looking forward to collaborate and to meet like-minded individuals and to build trust, to build a network that is, based on trust, to be able to our purposes, our individual purpose in life. So thank you so much. Hope to catch you again soon.
Yeah, we'll hope to see you guys hope to welcome you guys and see you in the platform, in the app, and on the meetings, and we go from there. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Cameron, Patrick, I might invite you guys to stay for just a moment. But Dex, Anna Marie, Christine, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone who's watching.
Yeah, I'd love to connect with everybody on LinkedIn. And also, quick question: is the replay going to be available? I want to pass it on to people.
What's that, sorry?
The replay, is it going to be available? Because I could pass it on to a few people.
Yeah, we never do. In 2 years, we've never, ever provided a replay, because humans, sometimes we get a bit lazy. So all these people write to me and say, send me the replay. And I say, no, this is something to experience live. But I'm feeling today, I might release it. We may send this replay out to you guys. I'll have a think about it. Okay, but you can also invite anyone you want. We run these information sessions every 3 weeks. And it's the same link every time. Okay, so anytime you want to pass along, but obviously, first would be if you decide to join, get a feel, then when you're inviting people, it's coming from that real place of I'm in there, I'm coming to the meetings and I'm being a part of it. But we're going to see exponential growth over the next year. We're building a team at the moment to help bring more people into the network and the mentoring and things. So yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
See you later. Be well. See you, Dex. Be in touch. See you again soon for sure.
Great to meet you all.
Bye.